Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the stream. Thank you all for tuning in and joining in. And I'm going to start off with just the normal business stuff that I have to get through. Nothing on this channel is financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only without any express or implied warranty. Please read through this. Everything is for educational purposes only. Nothing financial advice. Welcome to the stream, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good to have you all here. And been a bit of a choppy day, I'd say. At least in the New York session. London session was the move for sure in a lot of pairs. Looking through today, coming into the session, it really did feel like maybe the move had already happened, and we were going to really just go into consolidation for the rest of the day on a lot of pairs. And with that in mind, tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow is the big day, Wednesday, Friday, right? So getting prepped, getting ready for that, and I'm just going to jump right in with the title of this video. Right, I always try to bring some kind of value. I always try to bring some kind of instructional, or not instructional, but educational purpose to the beginning of these videos. And with that being said, I'm going to leave you all with a simple concept. All right, of course, you all know that the person I learned from, Stacey Burke, he always talks about the three things that markets do: breakout, pullback, trend, breakout, reverse, or stay in a trading range. So I take that exact same mentality to the opening range. All right, everything within the market does the exact same thing. The title wasn't clickbait. The thumbnail was not clickbait. All right, the market does the exact same thing over and over and over again. They break out, they pull back, they trend. They break out, reverse. Or they break out, and they stay in a trading range. Basically just stay in a trading range, right? Now, they could break out and they could trend out of the opening range. That could be the high and the low of the Monday. They break out and trend. They could break out and trend. And you know what? In fact, let's actually list them out, all right? They could break out and trend of a 1-minute candle. They can break out and trend out of a 15-minute candle. High, low, right? We're talking about ranges, high, low consolidations. They can break out and trend of a daily candle. There's all of these different ranges that the market will create. They will create a high and a low, and they will manipulate that. And it's very, very intelligent how the market moves. It moves in grids, and it moves very intentionally. You know, it's always trying to accomplish something. Whether we want to know, or whether we know it or not, they are always creating a high and a low. So if we could take that methodology and we look at the opening range, we have Monday. And Tuesday will do whatever it's going to do, and then Wednesday will do whatever it's going to do. So what my goal is to look what has happened on Monday, how does Tuesday close, and then what is my thesis going into Wednesday. And the thing is, we want everything to be very cookie cutter. We want to do the same thing every single time, and this is the best way to do that. However, you still need to take other things into account, and that's where I come up with market structure. You want to make sure that you're always paying attention to signal days, 3-day cycle, and with this, the close of Tuesday for this the purpose of this video. All right, the close of Tuesday. So basically, if I were I gotta spell Tuesday right first, right? We'll do that, and then we'll put OR, so the opening range. Basically, what has happened Monday, Tuesday, and then these other few things that can give me ideas about what am I looking to accomplish on Wednesday. All right, so all of that in mind, Wednesday or Tuesday, depending on what happens on Tuesday, if it's an opening range breakout, I will look on Wednesday to take a trend continuation. Now, of course, if market structure does not confirm that, probability of them reversing and going back to the other end of the range, turning into a failed breakout, will go up. All right, so there's that breakout, pullback, continuation, breakout, failed break, false break reversal, failed breakout idea. Or maybe Tuesday will become a failed breakout, where Tuesday closes back on the inside of the opening range, and I could look for a trade maybe back down to the bottom of the opening range on Wednesday, or maybe a range expansion through the low of the opening range on Wednesday. There's another example in which Tuesday will hit both sides of the range. We could have a day zero on a Tuesday. All right. These are some of the scenarios that I would look for to kind of help me to frame and identify Wednesday. And I haven't gone through and seen how things have closed today, but I'm sure that we will see at least one of, or if not more, of these situations or scenarios for tomorrow. All right. So before I get started, everybody, if you could do me a huge favor. We have 75 people in the stream right now and only 26 likes. It only takes about 2 seconds to flick your mouse over there and hit that button. I really do appreciate it. If you want to comment something, say hello. I always like that as well. And as I go through, as always, please do not be shy. Make comments. Add into the stream. I really like to have some kind of participation. I really enjoy interacting with everybody. It's really the whole reason I keep doing these streams is because I do enjoy. One, I think these streams really provide value, and also I really like, interacting with everybody. So please feel free to say hi, ask questions as I go along. I'll make sure that they get answered. All right, starting out up here on NASDAQ. All right, NASDAQ. Just before I even get started, purple, previous month. Green, previous week. Gray, previous day. All right, if you want this indicator, it's a free indicator. You have to just go over to my Discord. Link is in the description, and you can favorite it to your chart. It is free. Getting into Discord is free. Everything about this indicator is free. All right, you just favorite it, add it to your charts, and it will be yours forever. Okay, so I am going to now get started, and I'm going to always start off with whatever stands out most to me. So that's going to be either the signal day, the 3-day cycle, structure, whatever it may be. And the first thing that stands out to me is the failed breakout back here on this Thursday. They had a failed breakout, day 1, 3-day cycle, day 2 on Friday. Day 3 was actually, well, it's very close. Nope, the wick hit it. So day 3 was Monday. And now we have today, which was day 2. So this would have been day 2 of the 3-day cycle, which means that tomorrow, if this day closes as it is right now, which I think the day may have just closed. Yes, it did. There is a failed breakout now at the low of the week, which means that we now have day 1 of the 3-day cycle. Tomorrow will be day 2. So what does that tell me? Remember what I just showed you about maybe 2 minutes ago or so? If I'm looking at the opening range, I'm looking at the high and the low of Monday. Who can tell me, out of the scenarios that I just showed you all, what kind of day Tuesday is closed by, or closed as, and then what do you think that I might potentially look for tomorrow? And I'll wait a couple seconds because, like I said, I really am into interaction, and I think that at least one of you has probably picked up on what I just said, and I really hope that one of you have. Day 0, looking for longs. Nope, not quite. We did not hit both sides of the range. Continuation, other side of the range. A-dub, always pulling through. Fantastic. So as long as market structure confirms, I might be looking for a maneuver back towards the other side of this range. Breakout failed on Tuesday. Day 2, 3-day cycle, looking for a move back towards the other end of the range. All right, so let's look and see. We had a move down. We had a high, a low, and now we've made a higher high. So what I can do is I can say, okay, structure of the market, we've made a higher high. Not to say that that will continue, but we have made a higher high. We had a break in structure on the 15-minute chart, and we are currently making higher highs and higher lows. That's good. My major swing high currently is still up here. All right, so I'm going to mark this off. Uh-oh, go back. All right, this box is obviously the opening range. We just hit the previous week's low. And now we've had a failed breakout of not only the previous week's low, but also the previous day's low. And the last swing low and the last swing high of the New York session, we had a low, high, higher high. So I'm going to mark this off something like this. Now, I want to be aware of this failed breakout because if they trade back down and make a lower low, or if this failed breakout is not a failed breakout, they come back down, they start trading lower, then it's not a failed breakout. People down here are not stuck. And I might actually be looking for a double failure. The breakout failed, and then it rolls back over tomorrow and just keeps going. That is a very strong possibility. It could happen. So I want to be aware of both scenarios. As of right now, though, based off of what I said about the opening range, stuff like that, I would be looking for this scenario. Okay, breakout, failed breakout, move to the other side of the range, or at a minimum, the 50%. All right, so if I had to eyeball this, about 50% right there. All right. Not to say that, I have to put this line there every single time. I'm just aware of that 50%, and I'm actually just annotating that for you all. Okay, so signal days. We had a first green day. The first green day actually rolled over. They dumped down, and then it just rolled over today. Not to say that, this does not play out. It could just keep going up. So let's look at signal days. Have we hit a previous day's high? Yes, we have. So we do not have any signal day as of right now. Yeah. All right. I'm throwing this into day 2, 3-day cycle. I have structure marked off. I have day, 3-day cycle, and no signal day. Looking over, not seeing any questions. I'm going to move on. And before I move on to the next pair, ladies and gentlemen, the offer is still standing. We have not completed the goal of 200 subscribers, or I'm sorry, 200 likes within the stream. And once that does happen, I'm going to take people and I'm going to put you all into the mentorship group for free over in my Discord channel. So hopefully soon that goal will be met. 200 view, or man, I cannot speak tonight. 200 likes within one stream before it ends. All right, let's move on to oil. What a day. Straight down, right back up, right back to where it started. All right. So we've actually gone straight down, back down below the previous month's high. This was the previous month's high. And now we're back up above that level. All right. I'm going to actually just ignore that. And I'm just going to look at like this. We've got this range right here. This is the opening range. And failed breakout. Once again, we've now gone back up. And we are consolidating under the previous week high. We have not taken it out. We have not taken out the previous day's high. So I'm going to mark that off right there. Because this is a consolidation under a level. If this is a first green day, which to be honest, I am not comfortable saying that. Where we're at the high of the month. We're at the high of the previous month. I am not saying that this is a first green day. All right, by any means. This does not fit the bill for me. We are literally at the highest extreme possible. I am not really willing to say that is what this is. All right, so let's take a look. Today was day 1, 3-day cycle. Even though we are up high, and I'm not willing to say this is a first green day, this was a failed breakout at the previous day's low, at the current low of week. So this will be day 1, 3-day cycle. Tomorrow will be day 2, 3-day cycle. And I'm going to blow this up a little bit. So at the very minimum, we know that. I do not have a signal day. I am not calling this a first green day. I'm sorry. Where we're at, we've been going up pretty far. For me to call this a first green day, I would actually be more... I really want to see a first red day, if anything. And we had that over here. Now we have a first green day in quotes, right? Not really. Yes. Stefan, that was a first red day over here on Monday. Now that played out today. I was actually looking for a short trade today, and I'm actually going to show you the trade that I took. I was aware, and I did see that this was a break-in structure on the 15-minute chart. However, this was the first mouse, and we did this at 9:30. So I told myself, okay, if we break structure to the downside, pull back 3 pushes, I will still look for that short trade because there's still a potential that they have the first mouse in the market, and they're going to punish those people to the fullest extent. So they hit it. They hit it 3 times. They broke down. I counted this right here as my break-in structure, lower low. And then they jammed back up 3 times. This is just into a new 15-minute bar. That's the new 15-minute bar right there. And then it created the extended W with a engulfment right here. I entered in on that 1-minute bar right here with my stop about 10 pips. And it went down about 15 pips and engulfed right back up with the knowledge that this had already broke on the 15-minute chart and structure, and it did not follow through. I closed the trade right away. I took about 1 to 2, was this 1 to 1.23, and I think it was actually a little bit more than that. So I consider that about break even. All right, it's a little bit more than 1 to 1, but I consider that pretty much break even. I had to close it very early. I didn't even take full profit at the 15 pips. Once I took partials, I moved my stop into profit about right there, and that candle was the one that took me out. Okay, so not a great trade, not a horrible trade. It did exactly what I said or what I wanted to see. I said, if this, then this. I did it. I executed perfectly to my standard, and it just didn't play out. So good with that. Let's move on. Let's zoom out and look what happened. So day 1, no signal day. Failed breakout back inside of the opening range. All right, so I'm going to look for a move back to the other side of the opening range. If this pulls back, and then we get a move up here, I could still look for maybe a short trade. Day 3, this still could turn into a reversal. Oil's been on a bit of a tear. Let's see here. Structure-wise, we had a low. We had a higher high, so that confirmed this low down here. So technically, we are still in an uptrend from what I'm seeing right now. This looks like the last place that they made a low. Yeah, this is still in an uptrend. And I can't say anything else about it. We have not broke structure to the downside. We have not done anything to the downside that would make me believe otherwise. So, structure-wise, let's look at the last swing high, last swing low of the New York session. Yeah, that swing low is all the way down here on the 15-minute chart. So I'm going to be looking for a long, if anything. If anything. And to be honest, I really don't even like looking for a long because even though the structure is up, it's been going up for so long. You know, we haven't hit the previous week's low in like 6 weeks. Do I really want to take that long? I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to, when it comes down to time of day and everything, I'll take a look. I'm going to put this into day 2, and I'm actually just going to move on because I don't see anything that makes me jump out of my chair. This is oil. West Texas oil. Bear, Earl. This is the southern way of saying it. Earl. Anyway, all right, moving on. I'm going to go to US 30. US 30. Looking kind of like NASDAQ a little bit. It actually kind of looks like oil, too, where it's broke down. Not even broke down, just tapped into the previous day's low, but we do have a failed breakout at the low of the week. They broke down, came back up. No signal day. So this is going to be day 2 tomorrow, 3-day cycle. We do have a high, low. We have not made a higher high over here. Okay, so this is another one that we're looking for a continuation. I'm actually just going to circle this. This is my close up through that way. What pair is that? It was oil. It was oil. West Texas oil. All right. Okay, US 30. Looking to go back towards the high. In fact, I'm actually looking at this as this was a bunch of minor swings. We broke up right here. Low, high, lower low, higher high. So right now that is going to make this my high. We've actually pulled back in more than 2 candles. And that's going to make this my low down here. I'll be curious to see how these set up tomorrow. To be honest, I'm between today and what's happened yesterday so far, or today really, and like how things are closing, nothing's making me jump out of my seat yet. And I really need to see more information coming into tomorrow. A lot of times I pull up charts and I start getting excited. You know, I start feeling like, oh, this looks good. You know, this looks like this, and this. This feels good. And I'm really, just from these 3 pairs, not seeing it. In fact, let's do S&P. Yep, pretty similar. All right, failed breakout day 1. Still no signal day. All right, we'll do something like that. We'll do day 2 tomorrow. Nope, day 2 tomorrow. No signal day. Pretty much all the indexes have done slightly the same thing. Failed breakout, going back for maybe this level up here. In fact, this was an inside day over here on this Monday, which means that stops are still up here. So I'm going to put inside day stops up here because I want to be aware on the S&P that there are still stop loss orders from anybody who traded this breakout over here back up over there. All right, so this low here up to that high, we've made a lower low, which means that this is actually the high. This is currently the major swing high as well. Major swing high. So we're in a downtrend. Okay, that's really all I can say about this. Let's move on. I would do gold, but I'm going to come back. Are there automatically... Why are all... Chris, I'm talking about the 3-day cycle, okay? Day 2, 3-day cycle. We had a failed breakout at the low of the week. This is day 2, 3-day cycle. Tomorrow's Wednesday. You'll never, ever, ever hear me refer to Wednesday as day 3. That's not that's not something that I do. I think it's much easier for me to refer as just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Keeps everything very simple in my brain. Day 1, day 2, day 3 is I'm always referring to the 3-day cycle. In fact, I'll put D2, 3 DC on here so there's no more confusion. All right, 3-day cycle. Good to have you here, Tony. Thank you for saying hello. Failed breakout is day 1, correct. We're at the low of the current week. How do you determine which day is... They keep putting this little heart thing up here, and I can't see what you said. Hold on. Let me move your comment up. There we go. How do you determine which day is the first day? Whenever there's a failed breakout at the low of the current week, below the previous day's low, I'm so very sorry. I'm going to butcher this name. SDI. If you go watch my 3-day cycle video on my channel, it'll make more sense. All right, U.S. Swiss. Let's take a look here. We had an inside day over here on this Monday. Looking at the... Let's get rid of all this stuff. That's important information. Get that up there. I don't know why my colors have changed around. There we go. So that means that we actually still have stops down here at the low of this inside day. Stop that. We're not going to do all that. Just put this down here like this. I'm just going to put stops. What I mean by stops is the fact that we've broke out of an inside bar on a daily chart, which has happened right here. This is going to be day 1, 3-day cycle. Tomorrow will be day 2, 3-day cycle. Go away. All right, we'll just do that. Tomorrow's day 2, 3-day cycle. Failed breakout. High of the week. Stops down low of this inside day. I think we may or may not be in a high-low consolidation. I can't tell. No signal day whatsoever on the day. For this pair, let's take a look at structure of the market. They started going back up from this level down here. Actually, it kind of looks like maybe we were doing something. I might need to zoom out a little bit. Okay, we made a new high up here, which would have confirmed that low right there. That's the point at which they started going back up. Then they broke structure to the downside, and we've got a lower low all the way down here, leaving that high intact. Let's put this up here. Now, of course, this is all bigger picture stuff, but it's still stuff that I like to kind of take a stare at. I like to look at it, right? I like to see what's happened. Where's my big high? Where's my big low? These are major swings. We broke down. We still have this big high up here intact. It's pretty far away. But if we're trading back up into the high, let's look at the current market structure. We started going up from this point. These are all minor swings now. We made a high. We made a higher high. And then we actually made a lower low on the day itself, breaking structure to the downside. Let's take a look. Where's my last swing high, last swing low of the New York session? I would have put this as my high. And that's right there as my low. That's going to give me my end of day consolidation, something like this, EODC. Throw that up there like this. And no signal day, day 2, 3-day cycle. Maybe looking for 2 scenarios to play out. Either this is going to turn into a lower high, and we get a move down back towards the low of the week, based off of the fact that we had a failed breakout at the high of the current week. Or, to be completely honest, it just breaks out of this end of day consolidation and keeps going. This breakout level right here will really help us to determine kind of what happens next. I don't want to see them make a higher high. This is my little zone here. If they go above that zone, probably just remove it from my ideas. All right, but this right here is enough to frame a trade setup. All right, and we also have a little bit of space down here that they've created, potentially engineered money sitting under that high. I'm sorry, under that low. You know, maybe not. We'll see. Full of energy as usual. Appreciate that, Marlon. Please do analysis of EU. All of these pairs over here that I have not made it to, I promise you I'm going to get to all of them. All of them, all of them. All right, day 2, 3-day cycle. I'm going to get this up there into that spot. I don't see any signal days, but I do have this inside day labeled and where their stops are at, which is enough for me. US dollar, Japanese yen. Man, I'm just not seeing any signal days at all. Day 1, 3-day cycle back here on Friday. They broke out and they failed on the following day. Day 1, day 2. Day 3 was today, and we've just kept on going. And I'm actually going to... I see this breakout level here, and they still have not retested it. So you better believe that I'm going to throw that up there like this, and I'll even label the space between there, because that is money. Money, money, money. They've made a higher high on the day itself over here. Let's see. Boom, made a higher high, which means that this is now the low down here. And all these little low or highs and lows are on the inside, and there's little itty bitty swings. So that's going to give me higher high, higher low, end of day consolidation, something like this. Again, just trying to frame some kind of trading idea or setup. Day 3 continue to break out. So this day 3 is actually going to turn into day 1. And then I'm going to take my day 2. Oh, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. All right, day 2, 3-day cycle. Up here. Breakout level, got the money, got my structure, no signal day. Still can frame an idea based off of where the stops are. Also want to throw up. If you ever see me put these little lines like this, all right, there is consolidation and space between this level. That's all this little line means, okay? I'm marking off a level without having to do too much work. This is also a pretty good breakout level up here that lines up almost perfectly. Kind of seems weird. Oh, there's ads running shortly. Yeah, that's not going to happen. There we go. Keep that from happening for y'all. And let's see. Just want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Y'all see anything? Yeah, y'all going to have to hit the like for that gold analysis, or else I'm just going to keep on moving. I got to grab me some spicy water. That's good peach flavor. Not seeing any questions. Okay. From Ireland. It's on my bucket list. I really want to go there. Ireland and Scotland. Really want to go. Good to have you here, Connor. Joycelyn, appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to put this up into day 2, 3-day cycle. I'm actually going to put it towards the top because I like this more than all these other pairs. Actually, I almost kind of like US Swiss as well. It's been moving very fluently lately. I think it deserves to get put up there a little bit. New Zealand USD is not usually a pair that I look at, but if I still have time towards the end, I'll take requests. Okay, Euro JPY, moving on. We have not had a failed breakout on this pair. Let's look at what we had before. We had a inside day over here. Looks like we hit the low of the inside bar and the high of the inside bar, so I can actually delete this because the stops have been hit on both sides. We had a break in structure over here. And then now they've pulled back. Okay. Yeah. I don't see any signal days. Tomorrow will be day 2, 3-day cycle. I think I just said day 2. It's day 3 tomorrow. If I said day 2, my apologies. I meant day 3. Let's zoom out a little bit and take a look. Boy, they're just doing everything they possibly can to get people to short. And I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. But they've got every form of head and shoulders on the map up here. Every single head and shoulders looking thing to get you to short. And it just keeps on coming back up. Okay. This is pretty much just a high-low consolidation at this point. We're in a trading range. There's a lot of retail support up here. I'm sorry, resistance. A lot of retail resistance. And I don't trade like this. All right? I'm not looking at support and resistance. That's not what I'm doing by any means. I'm just looking and seeing the bigger picture to see, like, where are they going? Where's the money? Why are they doing what they're doing? And to be honest, I really don't see anything. Trading ranges, if we get up into this area up here, maybe I'll be willing to take a trade. That's the previous month's high. If we get back up in there in that area, it might be better. All right. Structure. We got a high and a low. I really don't see anything on this pair, to be honest. No signal day. There's my open. There's my close. Make sure I'm not just saying there's no signal day or any trade that I'm looking at before I continue. Yeah, I'm not really a fan. I'm going to throw this into day 3, and I'm going to keep going. Let's look at the opening range. We had a close on the outside of the opening range, so I can at least label that before I go. All right, so I might be looking for a trend continuation, maybe tomorrow. It's ranging like crazy. I would totally agree. I totally agree. And I don't really care for when that happens, to be honest. How can we watch the monthly trades? The monthly trades, well, you got the previous month's high right here. And actually, these two monthly highs are almost perfectly aligned. And that's the only reason I've actually drawn this big old box up here, because it seems weird that I feel like there's probably a lot of money sitting up there. Can you imagine all the people that have shorted and, you know, their stops are probably up here or something like that? I have no idea. But that's probably where there's quite a bit of money. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know for sure, but broke inside. Hold on, I'm not able to see. Broke inside previous. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. This is why these live streams are awesome. I've got you all in here, and people start to see a bunch of other stuff. All right, so we've got this inside week. Let's put that in all caps. Inside week. And I'm going to blow this up as big as I can get. Boom. We've broke the high of an inside week. Is this trap volume? Is this a death line? I'm going to put this up here like this. All right. Most of my trades, they come from just beginning of an idea. All right. Something like this, they broke the high of an inside week. I could frame ideas off of that. Even if it doesn't happen tomorrow, this is all really great information for maybe the future. This could all just be a huge pump and dump. This would be actually inside bar, inside week right here. So maybe I would even be willing to say this. I'm just going to put it right here just to be really conservative. All right, we got stops down here at the previous week's low because we've now broke the high and we'll be looking to come back down to the low. Good stuff. I appreciate that, Stefan. All right. In fact, day 3, I'm actually going to throw this. I know that it's an inside week, but it's the same concept. Inside day, inside week. I'm still gonna keep that up there, and we'll take a look at it tomorrow. All right, 77. Actually, we have 91 in the stream and 77 likes. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can just get 10 more. If 10 of you hit that button right now, I'll do gold. And I'll give it a few seconds. It only takes a couple seconds just to throw your little mouse over there and hit that button. And I do appreciate it. It helps the stream more than you think. Anytime people start liking the stream or even just interacting in the chat, those are all things that will boost and push our viewership through the roof. Okay. See, I'm seeing that go up just a little bit. Let's go. Pound yen. Pound yen. We had actually, I really don't like this pair, and I say this every time, but I was watching this pair today. It actually looked pretty decent, and I stopped watching it for some reason. We had a first green day over here, so I was already looking for the long as it is. They started capitulating down, but then they broke structure on a smaller time frame. 5 minute. This turns into a head and shoulders, and away it goes. This actually looked pretty decent. This is after 9:30. If you want to take a look at this, anybody who's done the mentorship with me, I haven't done a 3-push video yet, but it's coming. I have a lot of topics, a lot of things that I'm looking to cover. One of the things that we go over in the mentorship is the different variations and all of the different styles of 3 levels, 3 pushes, all this stuff. And you can kind of see it here. If you train your eye, there's a drive, there's a pause, and there's a drive. So it's a 3-push pattern. There's lots of different ones. You just kind of have to see. This is also a W, down, up, down, engulfment. This is the engulfment of the W right there. All right. Today, we're actually still trading completely on the inside of the week, and I still have this level label down here. Today was day 2, 3-day cycle. We've continued to go higher, so there's been no failed breakout. We've closed outside of the opening range. I'm going to label that so I can look and see kind of what is happening tomorrow. How are things forming? This is the previous day's high, and if you know my entry criteria, you know that once I see a break of structure, they make a higher high on the chart, I look for 3 pushes back down. So a lot of times after day 2, 3-day cycle, day 3, opening range breakouts, I want to see them break and make a higher high and then pull back in 3 pushes. So that's probably about what I'm going to be doing for tomorrow. Caught in London. Good stuff, Bill. All right. Inside bar stops. Okay, so we had an inside day. We triggered the low of the inside bar. We hit the inside bar stops. I can remove that because that's just more information that I really don't need. I'm going to remove this first green day and that day 3 because I don't need that either. And I think that I'm going to remove this as well because that's all irrelevant information to me right now. And let's look for setups. Let's look for actual signal days. I think the only thing that I'm seeing right... Oh, that looks good. Okay, so we're consolidating under the previous week's high. We're consolidating under the previous month's high, so that's maybe. I might be able to frame my deal like that. Okay. I can work with that. If it confirms, then that could be my idea for tomorrow. We'll see. Opening range breakout. And I'm going to put this day 3. Okay. All right, as promised, I had 78. I need a couple more. 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 3 more, or 2 more, really. 6, 7, 8. 2 more people press that button in the next 5 seconds. I'll do gold. I'm just really fishing today. Really fishing for likes. Lady, someone just unliked the stream. Phenomenal. All right, moving on. All right. Oh, nope. There we go. I hit it. Let's go. Let's do gold, as promised. Okay. I'll do as in depth and in detail as possible. All right. First off, we had a close on the outside of the opening range. That's good. Let's look at structure. We've made this low. They pulled back in 2 candles, and they have not taken out that low. They've gotten very close. They've skimmed it. But they have not taken it out, and they pulled back, which means that they've pulled back. That's really all they've done. But what they have done is they've gone from low to lower low to lower low, which means that this is now my high. So this gives me my end-of-day consolidation, something like this. I think tomorrow is CPI, isn't it? I think that tomorrow is some kind of large news event, and I could be wrong. I can't remember off the top of my head. So we've closed on the outside of the opening range, gone into consolidation. This breakout level right here, always very important, right? So I'm going to make this a little annotation. Not because I'm not going to remember that it exists tomorrow, but I like to always be able to pop up my charts like this, and all of my ideas are just there. Just a little tip, right? Education, not advice, of course. If you can do all of your analysis the night before and make as few trading decisions as humanly possible on the day that you actually are going to trade, you're setting yourself up for success, all right? Because you don't want to make a whole bunch of decisions the day of. You want to come to the screen and go, okay, it's done this. I think it's going to do this. Wait for the market to prove that thesis correct. It doesn't. Don't take the trade. It does. Take the trade. But you don't want to try. You want to try and eliminate as many decisions as possible within the day. No major red news tomorrow. CPI Thursday. Okay. 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 Yeah. Maybe if I would have just opened my eyeballs and seen the little bubble down there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, do we have any sort of signal day today? No. But we do have Monday as an inside day, which means that tomorrow when this day opens up, we have now broke down below that inside bar, and this level up yonder is going to have stops. There are breakout traders, or I'm not even breakout traders, sorry. There are stops from the inside bar traders up top. We had a breakout, not at the high of the week. We had a breakout over here, though. Day 1, 3-day cycle. Day 2, 3-day cycle. Day 3, 3-day cycle on an inside day. Who can tell me if I have a day 3 on an inside day, what do I do with that day 3 of the 3-day cycle? Uh-oh. There we go. So this was a day 3. It was an inside day. What day was today? Tuesday. Man, you guys are on top of it. Those of you who's been tuning into the stream every single day or every single week, you all are just absolutely crushing it. Yes, I'm just going to move it over, right? So today was day 3. We had a confirmed breakout. We did not fail the breakout. And it wouldn't matter even if it did. But it wasn't an inside day. That's the important thing. Which means that we just restart the cycle. Day 1. And then we're going to go over to day 2. Tomorrow will be day 2 in the 3-day cycle. As of right now, we're making lower lows and lower highs. Structure-wise, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. And we're at the previous week's low. All right. I want to be as detailed as possible. Inside day, breakout trader stops. Do not have any signal days, but I am aware of where the stops are. 3-day cycles labeled, and I have my end-of-day consolidation. Does anybody have any questions about gold before I move on? Because I just want to make sure that I'm, detailed as possible. And if you all have questions about things, then I want to make sure that I'm answering them. 5-minute time frame for gold. Okay. Yeah, I still don't see where they broke down. So I think my levels are still accurate. High, low, breakout level. I want to know if first green day and first red day can be used as day 1 in the 3-day cycle. Absolutely. And those are actually my preferred method, or my preferred way of receiving a first red day or a first green day. So for example, just ignore the fact. Just ignore the fact that this closed all the way down here. All right, just delete all that from your brain. We had a failed breakout at the high of the current week. Imagine that this day it closed, I don't know, right here. All right, just imagine it closed right there. That was a day 1 3-day cycle, and they've made a lower low on the day and also closed below the open. So yes, this would be a day 1 3-day cycle and a first red day after a pump. That's my preferred version of a first red day. Flip that over, you would have a first green day. Same exact rules, same exact considerations. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, I need to sit up a little bit. I'm slouching in my chair. Look ridiculous on here. There we go. I'm up. I'm attentive. After gold, can we review why price? Or wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I still can't. They put this little heart thing over here, and I have no idea how to get rid of it. Can we review what price did New York session on US dollar CAD? Yeah, US dollar CAD, I verbally said out loud something this morning. And I was like, what in the world's going on? Because it surprised me a little bit. I pulled it up and was like, oh, I guess we're just going straight up today. Okay, that. All right, I'm putting this into day 2. Gold. I like what's happening here. I think I could form a thesis tomorrow coming into the session, depending on what's happened throughout tomorrow. But I'm, out of the pairs, I think this is kind of the order of things that I'm enjoying as of right now. If day 1 or 2 is an inside day, they don't roll over. Is that correct, Phil? Yes, that's correct. The only one that will roll over is day 3. No insights predicted. Just yeah, exactly, Fuber. What's your insight on? Oh, I see what you're saying. What's your insight on? Yeah, Jadera, I don't think like that. The session is the session, or whatever. But the setup is the setup. I still look for the exact same thing, no matter what session it presents itself in. I just hope that it presents in my session. And if it doesn't, well, then I don't have a trade. You're still looking for the lower low. And if you get a lower high, you get a trade. And if you get a higher high and you get a higher low, then you get a trade. It's all about structure. It's all about, the bigger setup. I compartmentalize and I categorize information in my brain and I break it down from point A, big setup. And I go down to point B and I use all supporting information, which is like, where's my stops at? Market structure, 3 pushes. All of these little tools that I have in my toolbox to try and help me to identify where the trade could take place and how it's going to take place. All right. US dollar CAD, to answer questions. Let's figure out, wow, that went straight up and then came back. Cool. We still closed on the outside of the opening range. So I'm going to put a little green circle around that to indicate that. Where's my close? We have now broke out of the previous month's high, the previous week's high, and the previous day's high. So you better believe that I'm going to mark all 3 of those off. And I'm going to put in nice blue letters in there. Stops. Anybody who traded the breakout of any of those levels, and I've actually never really seen where they all 3 line up like that, which is kind of cool. Anybody who's traded the breakout of any of those levels may or may not be a break even right now. There's also a gap between price and a level. I think that looks weird. So I like to mark those off with a bunch of question marks to sarcastically remind myself that there's space down there and it looks strange, okay? Sarcastically, but also the reason I do it is it's fun. I don't know. I'm just weird, I guess. But it helps me to remember. All right, let's look at structure. We had a big run up. We had this low right here. They broke down out of that low, just out of this price. We actually started going back up from this point down here. So my low is actually all the way down there. My high is all the way up here. And that's my box. One of the things that I stare at is whenever we do 3 levels of rise on a Tuesday and close up really, really high, potential for them to roll over goes up, except they didn't close really high. They actually just went higher and then have now come back down. So I think I need to go to a higher time frame and see what are they doing. All right, we had a lower low. Now we have a higher high. So we're pretty much at the high right now. This was a confirmed high on the daily chart, and we just broke through it. All right, so I'm now going to go back down to my smaller. Okay, yeah, let's do that. All right, so to keep things as simple as possible, I've got where are my stops located, structure, high, low. That's really all I've got. If I absolutely had to mark off some levels, I think I'm going to have to go down to the 5-minute, to be completely honest with you. I'm just going to mark off a little line here. Then I'm going to draw a little line like this to show myself, hey, there's space down there. Then I'm going to draw this line here, and I'm going to draw this line here. I'm going to write EODC on there. I'm going to call it a day. At least with that portion. Let's see what the 3-day cycle is done. We had a failed breakout over here. They went up, then they came back down. Day 1, day 2. Tomorrow is day 3 of the 3-day cycle. D3, day 3, 3-day cycle. In fact, to remove confusion, I'll make sure to put 3DC up there. Just keep taking... 3DC. Close outside of opening range. Where's my stops? What's my structure? Do I have 3 days of longs in the market? No, I do not. I only have 2. So no signal day. Very well. I will put this into the day 3 spot, and I'm going to move on after I correct that line because it's not straight. And I know that someone's going to say, but Cameron, why don't you just use the shift key? And you're right. I've started using it a lot more. All right. US dollar CAD, day 3. Euro USD. And I'm almost done, which means I might actually be able to take some requests from people. We had a failed breakout at the low of the current month, below the previous week's low. This is week 1 in the 3-week cycle. The week the week opened over here, and it closed slightly below. So this was not confirmed a first green week. I'm going to put it there because the behavior is the same. And although I don't make solid trading decisions off of the 3-week cycle, W1, I am interested when there's a failed breakout because, as Stacey says, failed breakouts will begin large moves. And I can still look, just like I would for a first red day or a first green day, I can still look at this as a trapped volume zone where I do not want to see them go below. But however, if they come back down and retest, there might be a pretty large trade setup that may or may not form back towards the high. And the high right now is that high all the way up there. So let's take a look. We broke this high. We made a higher high. First place we made a lower low was right here. So I think I'm going to mark this off. Maybe 1, 2, maybe 3. All right, that could be an idea. So we'll do like 1, 2, and 3 question mark to see if maybe the 3 will come down tomorrow. All right, do I have a signal day? We had an inside day over here on Monday. Put that in there. We're still trading completely on the inside of the previous week's high and the previous week's low. Not seeing any signal day. 3-day cycle wise, let's take a look. We had a day 1, day 2, day 3 inside day. Make sure what I said is accurate. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Yep, so move this over day 3. This would have been day 1. Tomorrow's day 2. Something like that. This breakout level is going to be important. Sorry, I got quiet. That was weird. Breakout level. Gonna walk myself through this. What's the best time to execute trade during the New York session? I know you weren't asking me, but I'll answer the question anyway, and I'll even draw it out for you later. 9:30 is my midpoint. The further I get to the left, lower probability. The further I get to the right, towards the 11 o'clock, the lower probability. I like to be within that 9 to 10 o'clock range to take my trade. Those are my highest probability times based off of data. And then also anything after 10:15, I really feel like I'm starting to reach. All right, so most of my successful trades are coming between 9 and 10 a.m. Eastern time. That is opinion-based. Actually, that's not opinions-based. That's actually data-based, proven. And I'm getting more data now as we speak. But yes, those are at least my best times that I take trades. Okay, so 1, 2, potentially 3. I'm not seeing any signal days. However, we have triggered the low of this inside bar, which means that the high of the inside bar contains stop loss orders. So I'm going to make sure that I label that. Where is the money? That could be where the money is. In between that and the previous week's high, there's a gap. So I'm going to label that. Now, this is just a lot of extra mumbo jumbo that you really don't need to label off. It's just little itty bitty things that I notice. Will I take full-blown trading decisions off of that? No. What I really will take most of my trading decisions based off of is time and structure. So let's take a look. There's a low. They have not gone any lower than that, which means the last place that there was a swing high was up here. All of this is just consolidation. Everything on the inside. So I can now mark off EODC, end of day consolidation. That's my last swing high and low within the session or within the day. And no, not seeing anything else that I'm really, nothing. I've not seen one pair. I've not jumped out of my chair for one pair. Not that I would normally jump out of my chair on stream, although I probably should. Probably make things more interesting, huh? Stara, you're welcome. My pleasure. How long do you spend learning this strategy before you went live using it? Matt, to answer your question, my methodology, I wanted to be profitable for 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not 2 to 3 weeks. I was profitable for 2 to 3 months on demo. But what that meant was if I screwed up, if I took like 20, 30% loss in a day, if I broke my rules and did some detriment, some horrible behavior that ruined my trading account, I would start over. So I could be 1 month into my 3-month journey, and I'd have to start over on day 1, and I'd have to start those 3 months over. I don't remember exactly how long I did that for, but once I was profitable for 2 to 3 months consistently without making poor choices and bad behavior, I went to live money. And that was all before I got out of the military. To answer your question, Matt, do you think I have no idea, Jay. I have no idea. I just look at the chart, I look at the little candlesticks, and I just make decisions. I'm trying 70% win rate. I mean, that's what I've got, too. I don't know what your risk to reward is, but between 60 and 70%. Looking at my data from the past few weeks, it says that 60 to 70%, my average risk to reward is 1 to 4. I'm looking at computer data now. I'm not going to say guessing, but I used to use a spreadsheet, and I would calculate it all myself. But now I'm actually using a pretty good tool, and it's doing it for me. All right, so I've been rambling for a second, and I do apologize for that, but I wanted to answer questions and make sure that all of you are getting your answers here. On holding trades, I don't really do that. Some of my other data, my average hold time for a trade is 5 minutes. Now, sometimes I hold it longer, but it says that my average time that I'm in a trade is 5 minutes. Oh, ads are running shortly. No, they're not. Okay, so this is going to go up into day 2. How's my FTMO challenge going? I'm more than halfway there. Gabriel, I'm more than halfway there. This is just a demo account. All these trades that I've been posting in Discord and on YouTube and stuff. This is just the demo account. I wanted to get used to the rules and make sure that, my trading style was going to fit the FTMO challenge, and I didn't blow it out in the first couple of trades. And I've kind of proven to myself now that I can do that. So I'm going to finish out the demo, and then I'm going to do the full challenge, the 200K challenge. Trade good stuff. All right, pound US dollar. Yes, sorry, Jadera. Let's get to it. I've been sitting here answering questions and flapping my gums for too long. Okay, so Monday we've closed as a failed breakout back inside of the opening range. So I'll put my little circle up there. Failed breakout. Who can tell me if we have a failed breakout at the low of the week? What will tomorrow be? Tomorrow. What is tomorrow going to be in the 3-day cycle? What is tomorrow going to be in the 3-day cycle? Day 2. You typed fast. Good stuff. D2, 3-day cycle. D2, 3DC. And let's take a look. We had a low, we had a high, we had a lower low. So let's track some of these little swings here. We've made a higher high, which means that this is my high up here. Good stuff. Y'all are crushing it. All of you that have been in here, keep coming back to the stream. You're all are learning without having to pay a single dime to anybody. That's good stuff. Okay, so that means that my low would have been all the way down here. They've made that high. So these are major swing levels. This break. So we're technically still in an uptrend now, but we're pulling back. Okay, this was an inside day on Monday. I need to put that in there. Because that means that once we triggered the low of this inside bar, and the fact that we have had a failed breakout at the low of the current week on a Tuesday, means that stops are up here, and my probability of success for a long trade tomorrow go up if it presents. All right. Break the structure. We had a higher high on the day itself. We had a low, high, lower, low, higher, high. Now we've gone into consolidation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off probably this high here, and then also probably on a smaller time frame, something like that. So I'm going to put EODC in there, EODC. And unfortunately, I think I ran my mouth for too long and I ran out of time. But this is what I'm looking at. Wait, hold on. I did see was Friday a day zero? I think you might misunderstand what day zero is, Celise. Remember day zero? You want the market to be going down. Boom, boom, boom. And then you want them to spike both sides of the range, hopefully breaking structure to the upside on one of those spikes, pull back inside, go into consolidation, ascending support, and then large parabolic move up. Now, if I were to flip this over, same exact thing, just in the other direction. That is what I view day zero as and how I trade it. Seriously range bound. A lot of stuff is first red day. First red day. Phil, I think you might misunderstand what a first red day is. Let's talk about it. First red day, market's going up. You have a very large pumping day. And then I'm going to put my day separator in there. On the following day, you will have a day that opens, trades up through the previous day's high, and then closes down below the opening price. That will leave a significant amount of space to fall through where that pump began. And on the following day, if I were to draw my little line here, and I were to draw my little previous day's high up here, and I were to draw my end of day consolidation here, I've categorized it into two scenarios in which they either break out and they retest my little trap volume zone to go down, or they immediately break out, pull back, and trend out of that first red day. Those are my two scenarios. My invalidating scenario would be they go up and they make a higher high. That would invalidate the trade. Cam, charts are flipped. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. All right. Still not a first red day or a first green day. Harrison, I do appreciate you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the last pair that I'm going to do. However, if you all do have any what did I just delete? I deleted a bunch of stuff. It's okay. Tomorrow's day 2. I think that's the only thing I really deleted. Does anybody have any questions as of right now? As of right now, I'm going to actually put this back up there as well. All right, you all are awesome. I appreciate you all's participation. You all have been fantastic. Next stream will be on Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, same time as this. I'm back on a very, very consistent schedule, I promise. I've been traveling. I've been doing a few things with family. You all are my YouTube family, but of course my family, my direct family will always have to come first. But you all have been great. Thank you very much. Next video, I know I've been lacking on the videos on the Saturdays these past 2 weeks. No more this week. There will be a video Saturday. It gets posted every Saturday, 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time. It will be out this weekend. It will be on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday templates with the slideshow included so that you all can use that slideshow from now until the end of time. You'll have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of y'all's families. And I will see you all tomorrow in Discord. If you're in there trading, you'll have a wonderful night.